I'm back, witches!
Finishing up with the wrap-up. All right, so then Jacques shows up and basically he says, "Oh, off, you guys. Oh, and Weiss, your mother is totally heartbroken over you."
You have Jacques showing up and just saying, "Your mother."
Oh, Mom.
Your mom. Doesn't Weiss have a deed to the Schnee name in theory, so she can just permit them to be there?
No, she doesn't.
Well, she got disowned in Volume 4.
Oh, yeah, she was done.
Oh, she got straight up disowned? She's no longer a Schnee?
It was not disownment. It was just...
No, yeah, she was disowned. She was out of the whatever.
The will.
What is it called?
She is no longer the heiress, so I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any living rights either.
Okay, I gotcha. It goes to Whiteley.
Yeah.
She's out of the will.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think that's all I need to know.
Not quite. They were officially made huntresses.
Yeah, they got their licenses.
Oh, really? They're official boys now?
It was really underwhelming to everyone involved because, like, they've been through so much.
It only took 7 seasons.
They did it basically standing where Penny died, and Penny was present, and no one made comment about that. And I was
nothing was said about it whatsoever.
I can get that.
I'm like the only person in the world who approves of that choice.
Yeah, why would you? Hey, Penny, this is the place where you died? That'd be so awkward. I would hate it if they did that.
Because Pyrrha died thinking that she killed a person?
Well, no one cares. Yeah, no one cares what Pyrrha thinks.
But Pyrrha's dead too, so like...
Right, but it's still there.
They had weird green cake.
Ruby was reminded of what her mother's name was.
Also, we got confirmation that Summer Rose vanished. She didn't straight up die.
So what did they bury in that grave?
You know why? There wasn't Ainz.
I wanted to mention something. You know how there was tons of theories about Crow potentially being gay with the luck boy?
Clover.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Clover, yeah. Well, that just reinstates my theory that Tai Yang has slept with every single person on his team.
That's going around, that it's the theory.
That's canon as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Summer, Crow, everyone.
There's an election between
Jacques and some new called
Robin Hill.
Robin Hillary.
Oh, that's so cringe.
I'm 90% sure that's what they're going for.
And then, of course, and Watts is playing Russia.
If they try and recreate this Russian allocution bullshit and not the... Oh my god. Please, I hope for literally anything else. Literally anything else. How could Rooster Teeth be like 4 years behind on the current political talk?
Let's hop into this because you do have a limited time. I don't want to eat up too much.
Yes, thank you.
Britt is currently in a D&D campaign. He's taking time out of it to join us.
Once I finish with the reaction, I'll give my very basic thoughts, and then I gotta go.
Basically, he hasn't seen the last episode, but we gave him a brief recap that was hilarious.
Fairly caught up. Tai Yang slept with all of his previous teammates.
That was the entire takeaway from last week's episode.
That's it.
Yeah.
We didn't mention a damn thing after that. Right.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I got mild spoilers, but then again, the thumbnail of the video that Fatman uploaded spoiled.
This looks pretty.
It's beautiful.
Why sleeps with her hair like that?
God. It's weave. It's a weave.
She does, doesn't she? Oh my god, he's a food too.
Okay, good. It's a splash cut.
It's a flash cut.
It's a montage. Looks like a vocal.
Oh, I like the lion. That's cool.
Nice.
Pun intended.
Against ground. I'll need help on the perimeter.
I'm liking this. All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Kinda. I feel like the motion doesn't really fit the excitement with the song, right?
It's it's one of Jeff's 4 or 5 songs.
Yes.
Nice.
Is that? Is this the boppy
Also, I
upbeat
missed
song
that
that he
comment.
does?
What did he say?
He said, "What did you ever think about you guys branching out because of something like?"
He's like, "What are you
This
gay?"
should have been Ren and Nora.
There
My boy
it is.
getting all the ladies.
That's what they meant. Thirsty MILFs or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hey, I take that job in a heartbeat.
So would Fatman.
Oh my god, we're getting different team compositions.
Ooh, training.
That's nice.
So wait, that they did branch out into different teammates after.
Oscar's back.
Yeah.
The huntsman around.
Oh, it was them training in the opening?
Oh.
That's such a rip.
I mean, we don't know that for sure.
I mean, yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the Lego. Oh, I swear he just clipped for that. Anyway.
You get to choose what type of huntsman or huntress you are.
Damn.
Oh,
What a
damn.
cool and
Whoa.
semi-unique power. Like planting
Yeah.
yourself. That's cool. Oh, they're just racing.
That's cool,
I
though.
like
That's
that.
cool. What is it?
I like this shot. This is a great shot. That was
That
wonderful.
was nice.
I'm liking this.
Nice.
Hey!
Hey, alright.
This is what I was spoiled on, but I'm so happy to see them back.
Really?
Hey,
Oh,
this
is that
is-
what you saw? Oh my god, I would have flipped.
Oh, is this
There's
the rest
another
of
rainbow
Team
chick that is
Funky?
happy.
we got
to be a
other
cat.
people too. The rest of
This
their
is
team.
a new effect on her.
This is the
I
rest of their
like
team as well. This is the
this.
first time she's in this engine, which actually looks nice.
Nora
Yeah.
can fly.
Oh,
And we got the rest
Straight
of
up
them.
fly, not just propellers up.
with her.
I really want the rest of them to be meme lords as
Hammer.
well.
But I like her big fluffy hair. I mean,
I
I
like
like those
that.
things
I
too.
love
But
that
like
effect.
that effect is beautiful.
That's a cool effect.
Somebody make that for me. Oh.
And she's dead.
Uh,
Oh,
oh. Well. All
Aura
right.
heard that quick.
Her black eye went away right
Whoa.
quick.
I mean, these guys are memes. That makes somewhat sense. She runs on cartoon physics. That is
The
a
cat
child.
face.
More than a second.
You guys busy?
Did he just spit? What did he do?
I think he spit out
I
a tooth.
assume they put ice in his trumpet. What?
What?
Cobalt.
What?
Is that
What?
cobalt?
Sandwich?
Where'd he get that? Is that a thing?
What?
What happened? Is this
Did I
because
miss
like
a meme?
the room makes things?
Yeah.
Does the room make like?
I'm very confused.
They need to stop trying to be funny.
I mean, sometimes they are. Hit or miss.
You missed last episode. It was cringe.
Last episode
Maybe.
was really bad about all that.
God, they're so tired.
You think this is another Eddie episode?
I don't know.
At least the tundra is scenic.
Yes, it is.
Penguins! Okay, season
Pengu.
saved.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Ruby,
Oh,
I just as friends.
And Nuts and Dolts shot down, everybody.
Relationships are so interesting and varied. Like 99% of us are gay. That's a wonderful thing, by the way. But still, it's like,
nice comeback. Backpedal, whatever.
I feel like I wish I could do both the things I need to.
Even the so what you're saying is you're a gay robot.
It is normal to be a gay
I
robot.
mean, she's probably non-binary.
No, but what she's saying is cute.
She's non-binary. She's hexadecimal.
Speaking of the gay,
Maybe we should call it quits. Shut up and deal.
that's funny. I like that. That's pretty funny.
Come on, you're not taking anything off. Isn't this strip poker? Let's go.
Hang on, I'm trying to hear him.
Yeah, immersion broken.
That's a good thing they had someone to look up to and get them through it.
I would not want to play strip poker in the winter. In the tundra.
I want to play strip poker with Winter.
I'm on board with that.
What good is saving the world without another generation waiting in the wings?
Want to start one?
Yeah, exactly.
We're guys. We can make it work. There's magic in
We'll
this
make it.
world.
We'll find a way.
Don't worry.
My semblance is good luck. You never know.
Like to compliment. Those kids wouldn't
Ah, here we go again, guys. Here we go
That-
again.
when you realize.
That was so gay.
That was pretty gay.
That's gay right
and
there.
that's all
You see,
it
I didn't
was
hear
missing was
anything
the
they
blush.
said, unfortunately.
How
I
are
need
you
to turn Discord down a smidge.
Basically, he was just giving him a compliment, and he tried to deflect it, and then he realized it was a compliment, and then he did the back of the head.
Oh, it's
Scratch.
Robin Hood. Finally.
Hey yo,
And her
Hey, I was
Mary-
right.
it's
They are
Sheep-
part of
it's
her
the
faction.
little
It's Sheep Girl.
Yeah,
I like that was
she's
they-
adorable.
yeah. I
She's
caught that in editing.
adorable.
I caught in editing that she's
Oh.
dressed up in those fatigues. Like I thought they were forward scouts in the last episode, but no, she's a Robin.
Maybe you can help me understand why.
That weapon is bigger than her.
I love this character already.
She's adorable.
Robin Hood? Nah. Cow. I like her facial expression. That's cool.
Easy to get turned around out here in the tundra. Everything looks the same.
You know, at this point, I feel like they're doing it on purpose.
the tundra thing?
Everything looks the same in the tundra.
Hang on.
Obviously, you've never been to furry trash.
I'm trying to hear.
Just giving her an annual checkup.
The next Vital Festival isn't anytime soon.
Well, it got attacked last Vital Festival. Doesn't seem out of the ordinary.
Just that resemblance. Is she gonna?
Pass on that.
Oh,
It might be something to do with her semblance.
maybe she has like truth serum or something.
How about you, Pipsqueak? 5 o'clock shadow? Either of you want to tell me
why are you-
I'm
Did she
taking
just
that risk?
call
Yeah, he did.
Five
She did.
o'clock
Clock
shadow?
shadow.
Does he even have one?
Yeah, he doesn't have one right now.
He does. He does.
Now, where's the fun in that?
Fight. Kiss.
Well, here come the merry huntresses.
Oh.
Robin,
Oh, yeah.
off the Huntress is approaching the rear of the truck.
Yeah, you do, Fanny. Oh, excuse me.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, that was a
She
buzzkill.
saw them. All right.
Oh!
That's
Oh, hey.
awesome.
Oh,
that was
wait.
Oh, the-
awesome.
So
The
it's not
dust
just
is gone.
The dust is gone?
Did you notice that?
What?
No.
Did they get it?
She left the door open and the dust was gone.
Oh, did she? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
So they just gave up.
Well, I mean,
She-
they're not
the
winning
way-
that fight. They're being smart.
Yeah, there's no way. That's right, Penny. That's right. Baka.
downtown, walking fast, faces fast.
It's her.
Can you turn that damn thing off?
Are you sure the dust was gone? Oh, I have to look back.
I mean, the back of that truck was empty.
I mean, that was probably just an animation thing.
I want to know why Amity Coliseum is suddenly so important. Whatever it takes.
Then get into power and find out.
Yeet!
Or
Oh,
just,
good. I thought it was over, and it was not.
or
Yay.
just walk.
We're only halfway through.
Oh, hey.
I mean, she's a congresswoman, right? Or something like that.
I don't think she's anything.
Get 'em.
I think she's just running for a seat.
Meow. Oh.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Wow. That was very close to a compliment. I didn't intend it that way.
We all make mistakes, I guess.
Nice.
You're not the little girl clinging to the family name anymore. Since Beacon, I haven't really had a choice.
God, shut up.
Let me exposit about my character.
I know General Ironwood would have a place for you.
Join the military. Does Weiss have, like, a scar or a cut across her face? I can't
I heard.
She should.
She should. What? I must have forgotten.
She does.
Been there. Yeah, it's been there since the white trailer.
Oh, okay.
She's the girl who lived.
Got punched in the face by a robot.
Everybody thinks what they're doing is right. But usually they're just looking out for themselves.
Is Weiss gonna tell Winter?
Oh, my God. Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Like, is Weiss gonna spill the beans right now?
You know what? That I could see that happening.
Sure.
I mean, who else do you trust more than your own sister?
Well,
Right?
nah, not necessarily.
There's something I want to show you.
Oh, Ironwood maybe
Oh, are they
keeping
seeing the Winter
secrets.
Maiden?
Ooh.
They're gonna, yeah, the Winter
Also,
Maiden.
can I just shout out about appropriate Weiss footwear, which is pretty cool. I like it. Like, I always find that when they fight in heels, it's stupid.
But it's Weiss, though.
But yeah, but Weiss is wearing decent shoes.
Yeah,
they're
with
still-
good,
they're
solid
still platform.
heels.
yeah. She's wearing like wedges, not heels.
Right, not stilettos and,
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're gonna go see the Maiden.
Yeah, because those robots have been proven so effective in the past.
So,
Yeah.
does...
And they're gone.
I wonder.
Look at all those cameras. Look at all those cameras. Is this the Maiden, or is she just like taking her to see Ironwood's porn stash?
I'd assume this was the Maiden.
This is where all of the incognito window
wait,
traffic
oh.
goes.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, and you guys were right, it is an old woman. Interesting.
All right,
Well, yeah.
it's time for your torture session.
It's Nora's grandma, isn't it?
What? That would be a random
Because
thing.
of the whole
Where did
grandma
that
thing.
come from?
Because the whole grandma thing from RWBY Chibi, and they were saying some stuff. I was watching something
Huh.
from, no spoilers or anything, but
I don't.
because she had mentioned it.
I mean, I'm not
I'll
hearing
explain
this
later.
through the muffled thing anyway, I guess.
I'll explain it.
I don't think there's sounds.
Oh my gosh.
Have you finally come to euthanize me? Not yet.
That's the Winter Maiden.
Oh, shit. Oh.
me!
Until that happens, I'm the only person Freya's allowed to see.
Freya.
Freya?
Freya?
Oh
like,
god, she is Nora's grandmother.
Yeah.
is she?
fucking- Freya?
I thought they legitimately called her
wow.
Frieza for a moment there.
Freya means cold. Like the.
That's a nice painting.
It did at first, when the General first proposed it to me.
Huh.
The more I thought about it, the more I saw it as a privilege.
Oh, is she gonna become the maiden?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's why Freya can only see
that's
her.
why she's the only one.
I'm choosing it now. I've made it my own.
Yeah.
And I take great pride in it.
Moral of the story: gaslighting works.
Oh yeah, kind of freaking.
Or more so accepting your own decision.
There's no guarantee that's gonna happen. Like, there's no guarantee.
These measures are not only reckless, but criminal.
Why are you talking like that?
And my family has been weathering the same storm as many of you.
Oh, shut
You're about to start a riot, aren't you? Yeah.
The operation.
There he goes.
Into office, I will make the changes necessary to fix what
That-
Ironwood has broken.
So why is he going on strike?
Can you trust anyone else to stop Ironwood? Will Robin Hill be able to
Yeah,
get your-
there we go. Anger, grim.
What? What?
What, did he just close down, like, all of his
Basically.
companies-related stuff? I don't know.
Basically, he closed
yeah,
down
that-
shop.
yeah.
He closed down shop
Yeah.
across Mantle in like protest.
Okay.
That's
In an attempt to be.
That's the most... I mean, I don't want to swear, but god, that's so stupid. I
go
left
ahead.
me as
No,
I
go
closed
ahead.
down
It's
all of my stuff.
like I can see from a superficial standpoint of like oh, if he does this, it'll drain the resources, and people will be like mad they don't get the resources they need during the day. They don't get the fuel or whatever they use dust for on an everyday basis. But like when you take it a next step further,
Aw, that's
they're
a
not gonna-
lovely piece of concept art.
they're not going
Yeah.
to blame.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, they're
love
not
it.
going to blame whatchamacallit. They're not going to blame Ironwood. They're going to blame Jock for closing down for a
came,
political purpose.
He
Okay.
came out and just did it.
So, little bit of British politics for you guys. There was a guy called David Cameron, and he was the man behind Brexit. He was the one who says, if you guys vote for me, I will let you guys have a vote on Brexit, whether or not it'll even happen to begin with. And he thought, they'll never vote for Brexit, so everyone voted for David Cameron to come into power. And immediately, when Brexit actually happened, people voted to have Brexit happen, he went, I can't deal with this, and left. Because he knew that everyone would blame him because he was the one who started it.
Oh my god, really?
Like,
He's just like peaced out. I don't. Oh my
yeah,
god.
the moment Brexit
He was
happened,
like, just kidding. Peace sign. Let's
the
go.
moment the vote came in that Brexit was confirmed to happen, he immediately resigned as politician. Like,
Oh my god.
like, goddamn.
He put in place. Was it Theresa May that was next?
It was Theresa May because she was the only one who had the balls to actually go into Parliament. You know, a lot of people hate on her, but I mean, she was the only one who said, "Okay, I'll try and fix this." Point being that if they're trying to represent this 2016 election with Jacques being the Trump of this situation, that is so dumb.
Real quick, Britt, though, like we forgot
Yes.
to mention this part. At the end of the last episode, Watts showed up to Jacques' house
Yes.
and said, and like just pretended like he knew he owned the place basically, and said, "What if you can have your cake and eat it too, or whatever?" So obviously, there's Watts' influence that he did this.
Well, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Like,
Oh god, it's so
It's
so wrong.
I think
Yeah.
it's dumb. I think it's so
oh
dumb.
my god.
Maybe like the way this should actually work is I have had to close down several shops in not in retaliation, but in response to because of the financial strain of these actions taken by Ironwood. Like, if you just go that route, it's fine. But closing like everything in Mantle, which is I think what he said, wasn't it?
I have to go back and listen to it, but
He said all non-essential
Yeah.
operations.
Because of everything, yeah.
That's overkill for this kind of situation.
Well, it's obviously supposed to happen because of Watts probably pulling the strings. So, and plus Watts owns Mantle, so it's there.
That's ridiculous. Like, oh my god. It's like he did the thing that everyone in the real world knows wouldn't work. Like, it's all of those, like, you know, like McDonald's saying, oh, if you raise minimum wage, we'll just lay off everyone. It's like, no, you won't. You won't make any money if you do that. Like, you're just, like, threatening people. But he actually went through with it, and now everyone knows what he did.
Why are people rioting in defense of Jacques in this case? They should be I mean, if Jacques' big brain plan is that if I get the people rioting, the Grimm will attack, and that will make Ironwood look bad because he's not protecting the people. If that's his big brain play, then I can kind of see it. But surely the people are rioting against Jacques right now, right? Which means they're more likely to vote Robin. It's just
they're voting because of Ironwood. Blame Ironwood for this. You know, that's the only way.
Blame
or something.
Ironwood. By the way, I'm the one closing all of the shops, not Ironwood.
He's playing the victim, basically.
Now, here's the interesting thing to me, is we finally met Robin in this episode, which it's weird that she is personally handling this border wall thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like she's on Ironwood's side with the whole embargo either. So it's like...
Well, it doesn't look like she's been kept in on the loop.
Well, exactly, because a potential politician is not necessarily a guaranteed politician. So it's like... but the idea of... You're fighting an enemy that has the same complaint as you. What's to stop them from being like, I mean, I'm right there with them. I can go over what this embargo is doing, because we need this, we need to end this embargo, that kind of thing.
But regardless, I thought this episode... The intro bit was kind of cool, the middle of the bit was kind of and then the last bit was really lame. But with that, I'm going to have to bounce off. So I'll probably talk a little bit more about this episode next time, when I hopefully have a bit more free time. But yeah, sorry, I'm super tight.
All right, see you, Britt.
Anyway, catch you guys later.
See you later.
See you later.
And he was never seen again.
Oh god, this episode was so stupid.
Okay,
so Robin is there, and she's like, give me the supplies, and he's like, no, and she's like, okay, bye. Basically this election is between the guy who just over your entire
economy,
township, or kingdom, or whatever, and the girl who like just bows to pressure under the slightest bit of vote for me, I just you over, or vote for me, I literally won't fight for you. Like, what is this? It's like they're choosing between the worst two possible options.
I'm going to stop you right there, and I think it is unfair the way you're characterizing the situation with Robin. Because when she was making her demands, and I like this scene a lot, because she was making her demands thinking she was in a position of power. She had two people cloaked, alright, invisible, who were sneaking up behind their opposition, just sitting in wait to take them out at a moment's notice. Now let's ignore the whole aura thing, because that's hit or miss. Like, you could probably just knock someone out. But the idea is, she has them at a 4-to-1 advantage, a 4-to-3 advantage, and 2 of her 4 are cloaked and hidden in ideal positions to strike. And then Penny jumps in, and she's like, oh, so you guys have 4, and not only that, your 4 has now called out our surprise advantage. It is now even footing for both of our sides. Your trained huntsman, I don't think I have those 2 were huntsmen.
She also realized, like, that when it was Penny, it was like, crap. Like, she was like the protector of
Penny's a public figure.
Of Mantle, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, Penny is a public figure, and she's a robot that records everything that's happening. Like, this can only go south for Robin, especially, so Penny being present radically changed the situation. She was about ready to go through with it. You could see it in her eye, and she said, but that wouldn't be fun, or something along those lines.
Exactly. It's like, well, fun would that be? Yes.
Fatman, I think you're mischaracterizing the entire situation. She backed down because she was finally put at a disadvantage that was not worth the tactical risk.
Why would that matter to someone who's gonna die because they didn't get these supplies to fix the wall? Why would that matter to the guy who's getting eaten by Grimm? It's like, oh, she just passed off the risk, back onto me? That's not someone I would vote for.
Because Penny is a trusted figure.
She's a public figure.
They're both trusted public figures, and Penny is famous for defending Mantle from the Grimm. So if she's doing something, it must be important enough to warrant, it might be something important enough to defend against the Grimm. If Penny's doing it, it must be good. That sort of idea.
But she's here now. Like she's doing the bad thing that Robin sees fit to stop.
No, what she's doing might be important to defend against more Grimm. If she's a trusted public figure, then the idea of, hey guys, I know this doesn't seem normal, but give me a little bit of leeway here, goes a long way towards a trusted public figure. Now, it might not go, like, completely the way, like, it could only be 50% of the population, but if Robin takes action here, it could start a full-on turf war. But then we see at the end of the episode that happens anyway because Jacques is a complete douche novel.
Yeah, there is a full-on turf war.
But that's a third party. That's unrelated or only tangentially related to what's actually going on right now in this scene, in this particular scene.
May I throw in the possibility that Clover is with Hillary and they were just giving each other codes with the whole the way they were talking and then something. Yeah,
their interaction was strange. I'm not entirely sure how to take it.
It was like really proper and like stiff. Well,
yeah,
they were both on guard, I guess.
They were both on guard, but like there was something about it. Like, they obviously knew each other.
I guess. Mm-hmm. Which kind of throws a wrench in the whole. There's going to be a betrayal thing if they like know each other and they're like passing each other hints and codes and
she did the
phrases. He's like, just do it through the proper legal channels. It's like, but if this is a good thing, if they're painting what they're doing as a good thing, stopping it would be bad. Like, if Penny is doing a good thing and Robin wants to stop it, like, this is all just like weak.
No, it's prioritizing the resources. She wants to prioritize it to Mantle, and then they want to do what they need to do.
Yeah,
and the resources are in the
and it's a natural conflict because it's just the. For me, this felt very natural. Like their entire exchange, weird a little bit between Clover and her, but like everything else about it felt very natural. Where it's just like, I have one opposing viewpoint, I have another opposing viewpoint that I'm not allowed to explain to you. And had to cut off Ruby because she's a dumbass who doesn't realize that, hey, you can't just spout a lot of things. They could probably convince her if they told her, but it's a secret for a reason. I like the scene. Maybe the more I think about it, I'll see something I don't like, but I think you're being unfair to it at current.
I mean, I'm just thinking about what would convince me to vote for somebody.
Yeah.
Having to choose between, Jacques, who's like, I'm gonna hold
the entire economy hostage
until you vote for me. It's like, well, no. Or Robin, who's like, I'm gonna get you those supplies one way or another. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna get you those supplies one way.
Well,
it's like they're both like putting the people in this like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Maybe vote for me.
That's called a politician.
You're doing a different thing here because you're thinking that everything that Robin's saying here is being made public. This is her.
Yeah, no, this is a private thing.
This is a private thing, as opposed to Jacques, who's like, yes, I'm holding the entire economy ransom. Vote for me, you plebeians. No, here. With Robin, it's, I need to play the politics smart here. Right. This is not...
Right. People don't know she's doing this.
I was going to engage in a fight to steal these supplies, but suddenly it's looking less likely that I'll win the fight. So it's better now to retreat and recollect ourselves and try again sometime else or try a different approach.
But it's going to happen no matter what. But we're going to try at least.
Yeah, I think in this situation, it was just thinking much more tactically. It's not that her promises are being unfulfilled. It's just that she has to take a new approach to it.
But wouldn't it be way better optics to be like, I tried to help you, but they beat me up? Instead of being like, oh yeah, the government asked me to stop, so I kind of just did.
They didn't ask you to stop. There was threat of force.
Or like keeping it a secret. Like I was just sitting on my ass the whole time.
I didn't do anything. Force. There was constant threat of force. Literally, Penny started flying above the thing with her swords out. It's not that he kindly asked me to stop. I was about to beat their in until they proved they could beat my in better than I could beat theirs. It's like there comes a point, Fat Man, where like, if you were in that situation, would you really, really take that risk, or would you be smart, pull back, and then find a different convoy to attack that doesn't have the superpowered robot in it?
Do I know how much of a basic bitch Penny is?
What do you mean basic bitch?
She's not a basic bitch. What are you calling her basic? She's the protector of Mantle. She said she's the one that made her go, oh shoot, maybe not. So how is that a basic bitch?
Her own weapons ripped her to pieces.
Counterpoint, Fat Man. It took her own weapons to kill her. It doesn't mean that you can kill her with your weapons. Okay? Like it's not easy to disarm a robot with flying swords attached to strings. Like, Penny getting killed by Pyrrha was a fluke arranged by super, quote-unquote, super intelligent villains.
you know that thing your older brother does when he's like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why don't we just do that to a robot?
And also, you wouldn't think that maybe Pietro, after having witnessed that, might have built in some kind of failsafe, I don't know, to prevent a similar situation from happening again.
Those little quick detached cords like on the Xbox controllers.
I think you're being unfair to the situation. But I want to talk about other scenes because we're really lingering on the Robin scene.
Is there anything else to linger on?
Oh yeah, I mean, I loved seeing Team Funky again.
Oh, we got a training montage.
Well, not a training montage, a hunter montage, which we were complaining that we didn't want that to become the whole of the volume, but they did a lot of work in a short period of time. They're basically back in training. They're back in performance mode. We got to see a little bit of what work as a contract huntsman was like. We got to see John doing the walking. And seriously, it should have been Ren and Nora. Just saying.
And hello, like, you guys keep saying, let's see some old friends. And we totally just did. And we met the whole team.
Well, I never said that, so.
Excuse me.
We met all of Team Funky. I'm excited to see her. Even if it's just this cameo, I liked seeing them again. And Neon, the more I've worked with her in fixing RWBY, the more I've come to really love her as a character. A character design, I should say mostly, but she's just fun. She's just a little fun little character. So I want to see about the sandwich thing. 1 minute. Okay, no, that was just a gag. That was literally just Nora saying, "Dewey, I could eat a sandwich the size of Cobalt." And I guess his name is Cobalt. A sandwich the size of Cobalt falls down to pop next to him.
She just breaks the fourth wall.
She's the Pinkie Pie of RWBY. I was thinking maybe this technical room makes stuff, you know?
Like if she says it, it just appears like the holodeck.
Like a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, did we see who wrote this episode?
Yeah.
This was an Eddie episode.
He wasn't as bad as the last episode.
Says you.
And me.
Yeah. And I think Britt liked it all right.
Okay, fine.
I like this episode better.
So with that was fine. Winter and Weiss. On one hand, I'm glad they're spending time together. We're seeing the sisterly bond stuff. On the other, stop talking about yourselves like you have self-reflection on speed dial, all right? That's not how it works. You don't just be like, oh, we've both changed so much over the time. That comes at the end of a much longer conversation.
Well, no, that just doesn't come at all because
if at all.
You guys are not girls, and you don't really have. Well, you have a sister, but you do have sisters. But no, it does happen. It does happen, especially if something traumatic or life-changing happens.
Yeah, no,
I will just throw that in there.
Yeah, no, because I've had moments with my friends where I've sat down and things have really changed. And just just that moment of thinking back on a previous point in my life with my friend who I spent that time of my life, and I was like, huh, yeah, things are way different than they used to be. We're all so different. I mean, you have a house and family.
And I apologize for saying just girls.
Yeah.
I do.
No, it's fine because girls are typically don't take what I mean. They're typically more in tone in touch with their emotional side, which is now a reason why this is kind of weird because I always get the impression that the Shnees are emotionally constipated. Even the women.
Weiss is learning a lot more how to be more emotional because of the girls.
Yeah, she's taken a few emotional laxatives, but she's not quite there.
Mm-hmm. And maybe Winter now with Penny, who's all over the place, and like you said a couple episodes ago, she's hanging out with her more.
Oh yeah,
and it's a
new sisterly bond would be nice to see with that. So I like them bonding and reflecting on Winter basically becoming the Winter Maiden, which Ironwood. Really? You chose Winter to become the Winter Maiden. Also, hot take. Robin is going to become the Winter Maiden. She's going to break in here to find out what's happening and see the Winter Maiden. And the Winter Maiden's going to die.
Will she kill her?
I don't think kill her. I think basically she's going to show up coincidentally when the Winter Maiden dies.
Also, what were you saying about, it is Nora's grandmother? Because, I was saying, there's, this, crack theory or whatever that it's
Freya is a Norse god.
Her name is Freya?
Freya.
Yeah, Freya.
Freya. F-R-I-A. Freya.
Freya.
It's probably just like a twist of Freya, which is a Greek god of like. Isn't it the wife of Odin?
Freya is the goddess of love, I think, but Freya is the leader of the Valkyries.
Okay. Because Freya, F-R-I-A, is Spanish, feminine Spanish for cold. Something, like the feminine.
The more I'm thinking about it is this. I actually wouldn't mind if this was Nora's grandmother. Like, you could do some weird with that. What if suddenly Nora learns her grandmother's been alive this whole time? She's not an orphan, but her grandmother, like her family, were like kidnapped by Atlas or something like that. And it's just like, oh, well, like there's way more ambiguity, moral ambiguity there with that.
Atlas is shady as.
Nora is the one that ends up becoming the Winter Maiden as a consequence because she's like, oh, dear Nora, you're alive! Oh, take my power!
I mean, that would be better than
That's the sound. It's boom.
what they're setting up anyway.
No, I just realized they didn't give her a TV in there, but it makes sense. It makes sense because you don't want her to have other human contact besides Winter, which is cruel, man.
I mean, my question is like, why is she still alive?
Why is she still alive?
It seems like the only reason that someone who has a great power that could be used to protect people would stay alive, like after they are no longer useful. Because when she dies, she passes on the power and it goes to someone else.
Right.
So if she
are you saying to kill her?
Well, I mean, if it's like a spiteful thing, which it doesn't seem like because she's drinking that tea. Like, if it's a spiteful thing where she's like, no, I'm not going to think of this bitch. I'm going to think of anyone else.
All right. Yeah, because it does look like they have an agreement, I guess.
Yeah, she's like just drinking the tea, and it's just like... And I don't know if that's just because she doesn't want to die, and she's like, no, if I think about Winter, they're going to kill me. But it's like, if she wanted to, like, pass on... Like, it seems like the noble thing to do, right, would be to pass on the power to the next person, so that they could use it to do the good things, like, save people.
Okay, yeah.
Unless she knows that if she does pass it on, that's not going to happen, why is she, like, clinging to life?
I mean, that raises some questions, but it's also, like...
She's not clinging to life. They said that she doesn't have much longer, and she basically is just waiting.
It's like just sending someone out in comfort. It's like,
yeah, it's just
I get you're trying to expedite the process, but we're talking about like, well, I don't know if it's been a couple of months, all things considered.
A life.
I mean, you could probably just euthanize her, but like, I don't know. I feel like that'd be just like unnecessarily cruel, but at the same time, I get your point about it being completely and utterly effective.
So you're saying you would love for her to just sacrifice herself for this noble, deed or whatever.
I'm saying that, is there a reason she's still alive?
Because human life is valuable.
Like she's human.
Because like,
well, it's not valuable enough to like fix the wall.
But that's not the people that...
It's not valuable enough to save everyone with the Winter Maiden powers.
Damn.
What are you talking about? It's valuable. These people have commoditized humanity for their own like electoral gains. Human life isn't valuable. Not in RWBY.
But that's Nora's grandmother, for crying out loud.
Like, yeah, I honestly think they're like, I think they're setting something up where it's just like, I'm not giving the power to Winter. And they're like, well, we gotta lock her in here and make her forget everyone except Winter so that when she does die, she goes to...
Nobody said anything about that. Nobody said that they're going to make her forget and they're only going to do that.
Well, they said that Winter's the only person she's allowed to see. Like, I don't know. Right. I don't know, like... I mean, it seems like if she was, like, into it, she would just be like, oh, yeah, if I feel the left arm numbness, I'll just think about Winter.
So you think she's in there thinking that she's getting good care and she's going to get better?
Well, that's not what I was thinking, but that would be kind of interesting. I don't know what they're telling her to keep her in this state.
Well, yeah, we'll have to learn more about this.
And that's when we theorize and stuff. So
they have the thingy in there, the goo chamber or whatever it's called. The tubes. They have the series of tubes in this room. So, like, at any moment, they could just set her up in there.
Well, that might just outright
they have
kill
that
her.
thing in there, so they don't even really need to kill her to do the thing, right?
It might be. I mean, we saw there was physical strain on Pyrrha during the transfer in the original.
Mhm.
So what I'm thinking is she's probably too frail to go into that thing, man. Like, she's probably gonna die regardless going into that thing.
Yeah, so I think it's easier to just let her
Yeah,
go.
let nature pass. Now, we'll have to learn more about that situation because, like, that's kind of not okay. Like any way you try to spin that, it's just a nasty situation. Going back to the whole huntsman job things that was kind of fun to watch. John getting hit on by all the MILFs. I think this would have been funnier with Ren. I think you could have done a lot more. Like, if you had Ren being the one to do this, and then you had the wife trying to give her the thing, and you had Nora step up. Like, can you imagine the cat fight that would go down? That would have been amazing. But also, John is totally hitting that.
He didn't look like he was.
Yeah, no, he didn't look like he wanted to.
No, I'm not saying he has a choice. Those women look determined. Also,
those women's is thirsties.
Also, the little kid that's walking in the very last row, the very last kid crossing the street, the blonde, I think that's her daughter, and she gives us cute little, like, adults. Like she's embarrassed by her mother. It's really cute. Like, the little amount of detail they put into the kids. Kids.
That's gonna be my new one, daddy.
Jean is the new Latin pool boy, confirmed. Juan.
Hey, Zay Overseer's canon now.
Juanark. Yeah. Hey, Zay. You hear that?
Oh, God.
Janark.
So, like, okay, did Yang just take Marrow's advice after, like, schooling him on why he was so wrong to question Blake and Yang working together?
Did what?
Marrow's like, why are you two always together? You don't want people to think you're gay or something, and then they beat up
ain't nobody said that. That's
exactly what they said. That was in the first, second, and third draft of this scene.
And they yell at me for shipping. What the hell?
I mean, speaking of shipping, there's an adorable image of them, like, doing the splash cut over, like, the thing of them all lying together.
The lap. The lap.
Yeah, Blake in Yang's lap.
She's laying on the lap.
Weiss on Ruby's shoulder.
Yeah.
And they yell at me for shipping. What the hell?
Really cute stuff. Like, this is what we've needed since Volume 1. The team bonding.
No, it isn't.
No, what do you mean? No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
The team bonding, like actually bonding over their workload.
Poor Fat Man is surrounded by cuteness. Oh my God, whatever would you do?
This show.
Come here.
This show. Like,
Right?
the core of the show has needed to be characters interacting with one another forever, and the minute we actually get it, you're like, no, this doesn't work for me. I get that it's like 7 volumes too late, but at least give the show something.
All right. Okay, Raymond, you can actually hear me this time. Okay, breathe. There you go. Good boy.
This isn't what we've needed since Volume 1. We've needed a build-up to this.
Fair distinction. But
Is
you for being a f***ing semantic.
No, if they dumped this on us in Volume 1, that would be like, okay, thanks, I guess.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not saying this in specific. I'm saying things like this. As in, characters interacting.
Yeah.
Drink your Pepsi.
I'm out of Pepsi! It's empty!
Oh, no, no wonder.
Like my soul!
No wonder.
We'll just like crush up some Xanax, put it in some water. Yeah. This is the aftermath of characters interacting.
I have some questions for our audience.
She's cute.
And her awesome effect. Neon sees Jean in the hallway and just reconsiders. Like,
or not. I'm just in the background.
What are you doing?
Oh my God, am I gone? Am I gone again?
No, I hear you.
No,
we hear you.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay, damn. Oh, you just ignore me. All right, that's understandable.
All right, so first question by Cambriel. Best episode this volume?
2.
No. Oh, are you asking which one, or you're saying this one is?
Cambriel asked.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3. It's 2 or 3 for me. It's not the best. I think 2 is still the best. Episode 2 is still the best. This is probably like second or third best in the volume, though it doesn't mean it doesn't have its rough spots.
I'll say 2 only for one thing.
The hug?
Bragging rights. Yeah, and hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ironwood hug was the best thing that came out of this volume so far. Because that was a real human moment that I, like, totally appreciate.
Yeah. Hey, ironic, because he's half...
Well, I don't think he's half robot. I just think he's been repaired.
Cambrio's second question is it just me, or is Penny on the same arc as she was on before? Meaning her death had zero effect on her. That's what we've been complaining about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, Look, if I got torn apart and I had memory of that, I think I would have some effect on me.
But she was saying something in the truck that basically she, in their own words, she wishes she was a real girl, basically.
So she could have been eviscerated bloodily.
I think one of the I think one of the phrases she used was, "Is that weird?" or "Is that strange?"
Is that normal?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, is that weird? Yeah.
Ruckus asks, so does this mean Aesthetic Meme and all the other lewd artists on Twitter are going to draw John banging nameless single moms now? Yes.
I mean, please.
As long as he has pool toys around.
I mean, it's better than him being shipped with anyone else.
As long as there's like a Spanish guitar in the background. Yes.
Let's see. Do you think the pods will get used?
The AirPods?
Maybe like a moment of they're infiltrating, do the transfer now. But
look. The AirPods were already used. It was by Watts when he was walking down that street. I mean, what are we talking about here?
You can't hear us. He's got the AirPods. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you get it. Okay, go ahead.
Brandon.
Honestly, I have no idea what they're setting up with the Winter Maiden. But they have to be on some, gimmick to justify her. So
I only saw one pod.
No, there's a set of 2. They're connected by tubes.
Like the internet.
The internet is tubes.
Brandon Animation Hipster asks, how do y'all feel about most maidens in the show appearing in the show just to get killed off and transfer their power to the main cast's bloodline? Do you feel like the show is drawing to a conclusion that the MCs will all have maiden powers, or that the writing team will have the restraint to not do that? I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't think so.
Like, and I'm not happy that the maidens are just being shown off to get killed off. Like, this makes us... Like, the only one that has shown up that hasn't gotten killed off is Raven, and...
Because she was abandoned. She knows how to be.
So let's see, what do we have? We have... In order, we have friggin' so Raven dies, gives her power to Yang. Winter dies, gives her power to Weiss. Cinder dies, and because of character development or situation, she gives her power to Ruby. And then I guess the Vacuo Maiden dies, and for some reason thinks about Blake. Because she's a faunus. I don't know.
She gets stabbed, and she's like... And then it goes to Blake.
I'm just shaking my head.
Let's see. Pumpkin Blitz. Do you fellas think that RWBY should look more into animal references to apply specific posture to specific faunus, such as a cat faunus sleeping? I think they've done a good enough job so far with that kind of stuff, because, like, of all the things about the faunus, that's, like, the thing that's, like, most fun to do, is, like, give them little aspects of their animals.
There's this meme, it was the cucumber cat thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when she got scared, when Penny dropped down and said congratulations. That was the way she got scared. So I think that was fabulous. I don't think they need to do it all the time, no.
And they got Doge Boy begging for food, so,
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Indirect kiss, oh, another ship. Blah.
Prophetic Sage asks... Whose plan is stupider, Jacques' plan to shut down the mines or Robin's plan to actively threaten the military while running for office?
No! If she had gone through with it, it would have been a great plan!
She couldn't have gone through with it.
Like I said, riots...
If she got beat up, that would be excellent optics against the current regime.
But there's recordings.
If you have someone recording the act of aggression. Like, seriously, the situation is not ideal. It would just start a turf war, and then Jacques goes ahead and starts a turf war anyway. It's like her plan was, let's avoid the conflict, and try to plan out our strategy better next time. as opposed to Jacques, who's like, let's burn this to the ground.
Yeah, Jacques' plan was bad. Robin's execution was bad.
I argue that both their plans was bad. I think Robin backing down was the smart move in this situation, and Fat Man can't convince me otherwise.
Agreed.
Jacques executing his plan
I agree.
is terrible.
Yeah, Jacques bad. I don't know what he's even thinking. Like, I don't know what Watts told him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want less people. Or oh wait, is Jacques or not? Is Jacques? But is Watts gonna try to use all of the dust stores, and that's why he needs them shut down? And his thing is, like, oh, hey, you shut down all your stores. Give me all the dust in those stores, and then Tyrion will kill Robin for you, and then you'll be running unopposed. Is that the plan?
I mean, that's possible.
Because it's
we don't know
like, if
what the
there's
plan
only
is.
one option, if he votes for himself, he basically just wins.
All I know is that the plan involves cake, okay? And he's gonna eat it. That's all I know.
Let's see. Marzok's the world. Do you think it's now obvious that Clover is going to betray Ruby's group after his scene with Crow in this episode? Seems like they are trying.
It's way less obvious.
We're trying to set up,
and not because of his scene with Crow, it's because of his scene with Robin.
Yeah,
like, I mean, okay, as gay as Clover obviously is, I still think that he could easily betray them. But after seeing how he interacts with Robin, and he's like, good luck in the election, or do it through the proper legal channels, it's all just like a bunch of weird lines that didn't come off as like threatening. They came off as like, I mean, it didn't come off as, I don't know if that's the fault of like the actor, or if it's like actually really good acting, and he was being like a sneaky but wasn't.
It's one of these things that's definitely just, it's going to be hindsight for us. But like, should we have seen it? Should we not have seen it? We're open to both possibilities at current. It hasn't really changed the paradigm.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the scene with Crow, because like having the whole Romeo and Juliet thing with good luck guy and bad luck guy. Did I say my little like headcanon fan fiction prediction of what was going to go down in the last reaction?
No, what?
I don't think so.
You might have.
They were going to fight. And their semblances were going to, like, cancel each other out. And Crow was going to win.
Yeah, I think
Crow was going to win the fight.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, oh, no, of course, I did bad luck, so I can't kill him.
Right, because all his life he's been preparing himself for that. And then you did say that.
He's like, oh, I'm in love with the traitor, I can't kill him. And then Clover's like, haha, the person I'm betraying is in love with me and can't kill me. And then Crow is like, oh no, wait, my bad luck means that I can't be happy, so I'm just gonna kill him anyway. And I think like that would be the perfect like gay betray.
Gay betray. Make that a hashtag.
Gay betray.
Jeffrey the Noob. I'm sure Unicorn War will love it. Jeffrey the Noob says, do you think there's a chance for RWBY to be remembered as a great show, or are all the past traumas and mistakes too big to overcome at this point, man? At this point, RWBY is going to be lucky to be remembered, which is going to be unfortunate. It's going to be remembered as like first real CGI anime made in America. And it's like it's going to be like famous for its qualifiers. That's about it.
At this point, I mean, is Red vs. Blue even remembered that well? And Red vs. Blue was incredible.
Yeah, the first 5 seasons.
Is Red vs. Blue remembered for anything prior to the goddamn chorus arc? Like, people think that season 1 was bad because they just don't know what they don't know. Like, so like I think that the people who will remember RWBY will remember it as that show that, made Rooster Teeth, and who am I to question it?
Yep. And as we all agree, seasons 2 and 3 are the best. Anyway, I'm kidding.
But listen, though, Patman, you ready to be right?
No, I'm never prepared to be right. I'm always questioning myself whenever people agree with me.
Oh yeah, there is nothing in the back of the truck, so...
There's nothing in the back?
I think that's just...
Oh, yeah!
That's just an animation glitch.
Yeah. So, see, here's...
Sure.
Like, I hope that was on purpose, and that they had stolen from them, and there were actually 5 people there. and one of them just yoinked all of the dust out of the back of the truck when Penny was.
But where's the footsteps? What, did they fly too?
Yeah,
that's too Semblai. Semblai.
they're cloaked, so they cloak in the footsteps too.
What?
That's not how that works. Anyway,
that's gravity.
Item crafting says, with the use of cybernetic stylized training room, the way Nora slides in the slides as she runs, the montage scene and the long take fights. How, if any, do you think their work on Genlock changed RT when it comes to animation and cinematography?
Genlock cinematography is way worse than RWBY cinematography, so I didn't notice anything particularly off-putting in this episode.
No, but I think that they basically used Genlock. A lot of the animators used Genlock here to experiment with like sliding cameras and sliding motion.
Are we sure?
Because that was something that we haven't really seen. I'm thinking back like to Volume 3, that opening fight in Volume 3, where like the camera, like their single camera open is really bad, and then in Genlock there's some really boring single camera like pan scenes that are sliding around following certain characters. And then here, that entire opening fight was amazing. I really loved that training fight. That was really fun. I didn't see any issue with it. I think they really learned how to get characters in place and keep track of them during a fight scene. That was really smart.
Are we sure that these same animators are working on RWBY? Are we like sure?
It's possible. It's possible they're not. They're possible they are. I don't know. Regardless, if it was Genlock, kudos for them from learning. If it wasn't Genlock, kudos on them for trying something new and succeeding. Yoan 2999.
Owen. Mm-hmm.
Owen 2999. What do you all think about Christina V as Robin? She's alright.
I'm not really familiar with other Christina V.
She sounded too much like Winter, to be honest. Like she sounded like Ymir from Attack on Titan. I don't know her person.
Was she Darkness in Konosuba?
Yes, she is Darkness in Konosuba.
Yeah.
Alright, Prophetic Sage. Why do you think RWBY has such issues with conveying how we're supposed to feel about characters?
Writing.
Because the writers don't know how they feel about their characters.
You don't know that.
I'm not sure that that's the problem.
Yeah. No.
He doesn't speak for all of us.
I'm just trying to make a witty joke there, but it's a hard thing to pin down. That's not something you can really analyze effectively. I just think it's poor writing damages characters. That's effectively it.
Yeah, they're bad at scene structure. You know, it's like, hey, let's just talk. Let's sit in a car and talk about this. Let's sit in a training room and talk about this. Let's, like, the scene between Crow and Clover when they're like,
you shouldn't do that, you know?
Don't worry, I gave that up.
I meant deflect a compliment.
They've lived their lives very differently, and you can tell that through the scene. They're not just saying, we've lived our lives very differently, and I have a different outlook from you, and you should be more like me. It's like, you can tell that's the intention of the scene. But when it's like RWBY and Penny talking, like, immediately before that, she's like, this is how I am feeling.
I just wanted to say how excited I am to be working with you in a professional capacity. As friends.
Well, okay. In fairness, that works for Penny. That works for Penny. In specific, because Penny is like a robot who's experiencing emotions.
Oh, okay. Ignore RWBY and Penny. How about Weiss and Winter?
Whatever the case, I am glad to see you've moved on. Distancing myself from the Schnee name is the most beneficial thing I've ever done.
That's more accurate, where like them just like,
which one of them is the robot?
Guys. And it's just like completely unprovoked statement of that. It's not like there's any kind of deep reflection going on there.
Or maybe they're just setting up that the Schnees just do the exposition thing.
Maybe.
I mean, Whitley did the same thing in Volume 4.
Hello, sister.
Wink at the audience.
Yeah, I will. I will agree with you guys that it was a little robotic and very like, I am going to tell you how I feel at this moment, even though I'm not used to saying how I feel. But at the same time, they are not used to feeling. So that is the way they do it, like a book.
I mean, I could see it. I think the writing could have been a little smoother. It's just.
I mean, it always can. Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with that. Sure.
Dr. Thanks J23. That's Dr. Pepper. Is Penny secretly Doctor Strange?
Lab coat, rip off Doctor Strange.
Maybe.
She has a bunch of swords instead of a cape.
To quote Has Been Hotel, maybe.
Maybe.
Typing Loud asks, I think Fatman said in the last reaction that the dialogue sucks, and I heard someone else say, not in the reaction, that the characters talk at each other and not to each other. Don't really understand what that means. Care to elaborate? I think it's what we just talked about.
I think the characters talk to the audience.
Yeah.
Saying the characters talk at each other seems like that's something that could be intentional characterization.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Winter's a military person. Right?
Yeah.
Like, she has a different, like, state of mind, and it would kind of make sense for, like, talking at Weiss. But they're saying things that the audience needs
and then
to know.
Weiss, seeing her big sister Winter, who she's always idolized, and always has been like, yes, you know, like, especially that first time we met her, and then traumatic things happen, they don't see each other for a long time. It's still, she still doesn't know how to act around them, because she's been with other people for 6 to 8 months.
Like, I thought this scene was going to go in a different direction. I mean, I thought Weiss was like, And
that was a joke, by the way, people. Sorry.
So, like, Weiss is, I thought Weiss was going to tell Winter the secret.
Yeah, that would have been...
Because it felt like that's the way it was going. And then Winter ends up showing Weiss the secret. So, Weiss is, like, feeling bad about keeping secrets, or she's like expressing her discomfort with secrets in general, and she is keeping one, and then Winter like lets her in on this thing. Like, is that, I mean, that seems like solid foreshadowing for something that they could reveal.
Typing Loud. Another question directed at Fatman. You said that pre-Volume 7 live stream, in the pre-Volume 7 live stream, that your hopes for the volume is that they break from the status quo of Volumes 4 through 6. I don't remember if it was you or Raymond who said this. Not your exact words, but similar. This episode felt like Miles and Carrie were trying to go back to how things were in Volume 1 through 3. Just wondering if they met your expectations.
This wasn't Miles and Carrie.
Yeah, this wasn't Miles and... Well,
but
the thing is, like, they're the structuralists. They're the ones that, like, do the overarching plot, so I could see what he means there. Just wondering if they met your expectations so far. I've been pleasantly okay with things that were going on. I haven't, like, there are things that are also terrible that I've, like, so far this is a real down the middle of the road, like, polarized, I would say, for me, this volume. Like, there's some good here I really like. Like, you know, Ironwood taking the initiative, diegetically returning old favorites back to the screen. You have Penny back, and then on the flip side, you have the entire election thing going on. You have all the awkward comedy. You have some things that ruin the scenes. You have Penny back. Like, like it's such a, like, it's not like say like Volume 6 for the first half was really good and the last half was really bland. Then you have, or like Volume 5 where it was just really bland, or Volume 4 where it was, Volume 5 where it was really boring, or Volume 4 where it was just kind of mediocre all the way through. This is just, there's some really good things going on here, and there's some really bad things going on here. So it feels like Volume 1 through 3 all over again. Where you had really good things parallel with really bad things at the exact same time.
There's undoubtedly things happening, which is what I've always expected of a show, right? Like, they did something in episode 3, and they did something in episode 4, and this is episode 5, where they didn't. Well, I mean, they showed things happening, which sucked, but it was still a thing happening that we can dissect, right? Like, quality aside, that there are things. I guess this is like the new cause. If we're lucky, we'll see the effect play out over the next couple episodes. But definitely in like 1, 2, and 3, or I guess 2, 3, and 4, because like 1 was, forget 1. They had, oh hey, we showed up, we've been introduced to the team, we're sending the team on a mission because that's what, the team is supposed to do. And then it's like, oh hey, guess what? You passed this mission, we're going to give you your things. And now we've seen the fallout from that decision. It's like, they figured that out, and now they've introduced a new cause with this Robin versus Jacques thing, and hopefully in 6, 7, and 8 we'll see that play out more. So they figured that out, which is a-okay with me. But I feel like the actual writing quality in the dialogue has
degraded.
I don't even want to say degraded, but I want to say it's escaped the so bad it's good quality where all the dialogue is just like complete random nonsense. Where it's like, because that's what I liked about the first couple volumes. It was like, that's so bad it's good quality, where you're like, why would any human being write this? Now you're like, oh, I can see why a human being would write this. It's just like they did it really badly.
Yeah.
Like, this is like Volume 5 dialogue, and not even like Volume 5 Raven dialogue. This is just like, it's so clinical. We have to express, the characters must express emotion.exe. And I know I used Penny as an example earlier, but that's the same thing with Weiss and Winter. And it's the same thing with Ren and Nora. And it's the same, it's the only character who has, to my mind, what is any sort of natural dialogue. And I know Ninja disagrees with this, but Clover seems like a person.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because they're shipbaiting him with Crow, and they're really good at shipbaiting, but he seems like his dialogue comes from a place of, like, experience, whereas everyone else's dialogue comes from a place of, like,
the writers'
expositional necessity.
Well, Vivi Todd asks, do you feel as if Ironwood is hiding something from RWBY team?
No.
I keep getting a sense that something just isn't right this season, as if we're getting led into a trap. Not because he wants this to happen, but because of the current circumstances he's facing. It's possible, but I kind of do get the sense that he's being genuine with them, that it's more that they're being set into a trap by the antagonists, which is to be expected.
So a lot of people have speculated that Ironwood's semblance is like a lie detector, and he can tell that RWBY is not telling him the truth. But ultimately, I think that Ironwood is like on the up and up with them. Like, he's being genuine with his things. He was obviously, or no, he wasn't even hiding the Winter Maiden. He just has her. So that whole scene makes a lot.
He didn't reveal that Winter was being set up as the Winter Maiden. He didn't reveal that, but I don't know if that was necessarily necessary to reveal.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, if for whatever reason she's choosing to stay alive. Choosing to stay alive. But I mean, like, she is, though. She knows the good that her death could do. So, in some regard, she is sort of choosing to stay alive. So, I don't know. Like, I don't think Ironwood is being dishonest. I think the trap is coming from the outside, or maybe the
of the house.
The reveal that, oh wait, I've been honest with you and you were dishonest with me.
So you don't think that fight that he had with Oscar is the one? I mean, that'll be, for me personally, I'd be lame if that was it. I'm like, come on now.
Oh yeah, it's probably.
Was that just practice?
We'll see.
They probably did that so people would go, oh, that's what it was. And then later they just like drop the actual fight after the.
I hope not, but hey.
Let's hope it's as good as the Oscar versus Hazel fight. No. So last question, Dashi, you want to ask that one, or?
Yeah, I wanted to ask both of you. Compare. This is the first 5 episodes compared to the first 5 of season of. I almost said the bad word. Oof. Of volume 6. Which volume is better?
6. I mean, like I said, like it's volume 6 was just solid through and through for the first 5 episodes, like where we just got. Admittedly, I know Fatman complains about the origin story of Ozpin, but like having a backstory to Ozpin is better than nothing at this late time in the series. Yeah.
This is why I asked, because I wonder what he's.
Because like I honestly think that this volume. Like, they were on a mission, they were going someplace, things happened, and they had a cool side quest that happened. Here, like, things are kind of slowing down, that's not a good thing. And there's some really badness that's happening in, like, the dialogue, and, like I said, polarizing.
Yeah.
polarizing.
Like if you like the volume 6, like episode 1, it started out and it was like, hey, we're starting a volume over here. And then they get
Hey, how you doing?
Then they get into episode 2 where it's like, oh, Ozpin's been a bad guy. Who could have predicted that besides me? And then they go into episode 3, which was a steaming pile. And then they go into episode 4 where Ozpin's like, oh my god, that episode was so bad. I have to hide in shame for being a part of it. And then 5 and 6 were like 2 of the best episodes of the show, period.
Yeah.
And in here, it's like, none of these episodes were good. The only reason that I say 2 is slightly better than the others is because of that one hug moment, which it was just a little like I need to be human for like 1 second. Can you just let me I'm gonna get you. Okay, there.
So this comes back to the fact that every volume of RWBY has something different wrong with it. Like it's weird how like there are consistent problems throughout, but like every single volume has like one big issue. Volume 1, it was a lack of through-line story plot. Volume 2, it was a lack of purpose. Volume 3, it was it was bad in the beginning and then great at the end. Then Volume 4 was just kind of mediocre all throughout. Volume 5 was just altogether bad. Volume 6 was good at the beginning and then bad at the end. And then Volume 7 so far has been really good and really bad simultaneously right down the middle. Like, it is impressive how that, like, how they have fluctuated that the entire, I think we've hit every permutation at this point. Except for one volume that is inherently absolutely stellar all the way throughout. Which means Volume 8 might be the lucky one.
I mean, you guys don't have luck with Fat Man doesn't have luck with 8s, I think, right?
No, that was a
joke.
Kalak Ninja.
Oh, never mind.
That wasn't even my joke.
All right.
Like, episode 11 is consistently worse than episode 8's.
All right. So, I would like to express my complete disappointment in Mr. Falling over here. I thought, in my heart, you were going to say that this volume was a lot better. Because, hello, MILFs! Good lord, that should have erased everything in the world. What's wrong with you? You let me down,
MILFs
man.
that are into Jean, though.
But they don't see you, though. Once they see you, they're yours. Okay?
Do I want someone with that provably bad taste?
Look, I was just trying to lighten things up. I just wanted to say MILF, and I wanted to remind you. I wanted to remind you of who you are.
I'm going to point it out. These MILFs are obviously
MILFs. they're like wolves.
Mothers that like to vape.
You got to pluralize them correctly. They're ravenous.
MILFs.
I gotta make a fantasy creature called a MILF. No, but these MILFs are obviously hard up. Like it seems like their men are not tending to them at all.
All their husbands died in the Grim attack.
I mean, exactly. They're doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
Then here comes Robin, not fixing the wall.
And that's why everyone's gay.
Yeah, you know that these women have been in like their incestuous friends group. Like, just going at each other, but they're not satisfied without a real man in the relationship. And the first person they see...
Incestuous? I think that's a slightly different thing.
You can use the term in a platonic sense, but it's a much rarer use of it.
I'm platonically incestuous.
Yeah. The idea is that, like, their entire friends group is, like, intermingling. They're sleeping
You're
with each other.
trying to say polyamorous?
Not polyamorous. They're just, like, hard up and sleeping with each other. Constantly. They're swapping partners constantly. But the idea being that they're super hard up and the first man they see is just like, I know he's a complete and utter doof, but like, we gotta have something. And God, is he easy to manipulate.
Yes.
Look how awkward this poor boy is. You're not around to be like, all right, ladies, I know what I'm doing. Let's get at this.
You slap your belly. Let's go, ladies. You like this? Yeah, I got something for you.
This is the opportunity, Fat Man, to go from a 2,000 batting average to
10,000.
10,000 batting average in one go.
Yes.
One go.
One go. One.
Just Fat Man on like a throne, just surrounded by these ladies.
Yes, that's like the dream that that I dream every night.
And I can have Bubble Girl. That's it. Okay, so
I have one last question for the audience. Which plan was worse? Jacques? Or, I'm not asking you. Are you the audience? Hello?
I'm telling the audience what the correct answer is.
I just remembered something. There was a comment on the last video that was talking about the Aesops. It was actually active, or it was an active military, previously active military member, non-active, I guess now, talking about how the Aesops are actually fairly accurate to how military works. You don't really become best friends with them. But he says that it is different for everyone. Mm-hmm. So it could be you start lifelong friends. It could just be someone you serve with and then just forget about afterwards. But during combat, you have each other's backs hardcore. So it's like, there's a huge skewer. Let me try and find that commenter so I can shout him out.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, again, which one was better, Jacques or Robin's? And please tell us why, so we can get some more info. And
it was commenter I Broken Silence. Thank you so much for commenting and giving this really long, in-depth detail about it. 'Cause he went really in-depth about like his thoughts on the matter.
That's awesome, guys.
Thank you so much. You definitely helped clarify that. But are we ready to wrap up now that Dashi has asked the question?
We're all set.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that you too can ask questions directly to us during each episode by joining the Discord server. In order to join, you must donate $1 or more to either Fatman or mine Patreon, which you can find down in the links below.
If you donate to the Patreon, you also get the uncut version of this reaction.
Yes.
To find out what we actually said all of those times I included the clown horn.
Subscribe to Fatman's channel and hit the notification bell. And be sure to go over to my channel, Celtic Phoenix Productions.
You are there.
For the next episode.
And the previous episode. Too many people ask, like, where's the last episode? It's like, it's in the info card.
Yeah.
Episode 6 will be over there.
Remember to follow us down in Twitter, which should be in the description. So we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye-bye.